inspired to deep dive even further into the lives of 7 of my favorite humans and try to eat some of their favorite foods throughout the week, dedicating one day to each member. He is a crazy talented rapper. I thought I would start out the day with a lovely Korean pastry. This one is filled with sweet bean paste. In a V Live, Jimin and RM were making dalgona coffee, and they're trying to whip it by hand to varying degrees of success, so I decided to make my own. Whenever my family gets these, they disappear so fast. So good. Immune to the stereotypes, assumptions, and critiques about young people today. I am so excited for lunch because apparently RM loves kalguksu, which is also one of my favorite dishes. It is Korean knife-cut noodle soup. Look at all the noodles. Bring it to you in a huge bowl for the table. I always reach a midday slump around 3-ish, so it's a good time for me to have my snack. I know that RM is happy to eat gummy bears at all hours of the day. I think there was an episode of one of their Korean grilled pork belly. It's really common to get at any Korean barbecue place. And you always have it with banchan, which is all the little Korean side dishes, and you eat it all together and it is absolutely delicious. But if you want to be really pro with it, you would take your leaf, take your meat, watching reruns of Friends. But when I think about how many hours of K-drama or anime I've watched with retaining next to 0 Korean or Japanese, that's really impressive. Good for you, man. Proud of you. Jimin is one of the group's vocalists, and he is a beautiful, I feel like is very fitting. Starting out super simple. I think it was in a BuzzFeed video actually that Jimin said that he really likes eating fruit, so I just find myself a cute little fruit platter. Jimin said that he loves meat, egg, and mixed in with a ton of gochujang. Before I devour this entire thing are Twitter emojis. For me, growing up, K-pop was not seen as cool. So the fact that Twitter has acknowledged BTS with their own custom emojis, I feel like just speaks to the that is also a Korean staple is kimchi jjigae, which is just a kimchi stew. I figured since Jimin is a meat lover, I would make mine with pork belly. Apparently, Jimin have my rice on standby. So good. Hope is a literal ray of sunshine, and he's one of the group's main rappers and dancers. So graceful, but then also hits so hard when he dances. But in terms of some fresh kimbap that I just got from the market, it's a mixture of veggies, sometimes some meat. This one has fish cake with rice and wrapped in roasted seaweed. It's super delicious and great for on the go. It's so good because it's just one bite of literally everything you want in a meal. I also feel like I must clarify, I've seen people refer to this as sushi on the internet. It's not sushi. Kimbap refers to the seaweed. Kim is the Korean word for that seaweed, and then pap is a Korean word for rice. Another fun find at the grocery store, an iced Americano. I feel like in every single K-drama, whenever anyone's at a coffee shop, someone orders an iced Americano. On a V Live is kimchi bokkeumbap, or kimchi fried rice. And I feel like an OG way of making it includes pork belly, of course, your kimchi and some veggies, and topping it with a fried egg, because I'm a firm believer that a fried egg makes everything look and taste better. Okay, y'all, I am not a tasty chef, but I will say this looks pretty fire. Look at how it jiggles. This is another one of those dishes that's great to make when you just have a bunch of leftover stuff in the kitchen, because you can put anything you want in your fried rice. Okay. J-Hope is actually the only member of BTS that doesn't have his ears pierced, so hope you all appreciate. I took out my earrings today. In honor of J-Hope. While BTS eats a lot of traditional Korean foods while at home, obviously they're on the road a lot, and apparently one of their favorite places to come when they're on the West Coast is In-N-Out. And I feel like in almost every interview, J-Hope mentions,
I love hamburger and Sprite. But
however, apparently I didn't do my research well enough though, because when I came to In-N-Out, they said they don't serve Sprite, so I had to get 7-Up. I'm sorry, J-Hope, I failed you. But can I personally taste the difference? No. So I will enjoy it either way. I'm actually here with my sister too. Woohoo. What do you think of the J-Hope burger meal?
It's just a cheeseburger, so it's great.
And today's fun fact is that BTS almost wasn't called BTS. They consider the names Big Kids and Young Nation before landing on Bangtan-sonyeondan. So I'm glad that they came to the consensus that they did. Welcome to V's day. V is one of the main dancers and vocalists for BTS, and he's also just generally known for being a hottie, which I love for him. One of his fan-appointed nicknames is CGV, literally standing for computer infographics V because they say he's too attractive to be real. Anyways, I'm starting off the day with one of V's favorites, which is apparently japchae, which is stir-fried noodles. So normally this dish is made with sweet potato starch noodles, which I thought I had, but I didn't have. I actually am using rice vermicelli noodles, which is not what you're supposed to do, but I use the same marinade and a lot of the same stir-fried veggies. I will say it's not bad for my first try ever making this. The noodles are actually seasoned with a little bit of honey or brown sugar, so they have a slight sweetness. Also, some of y'all might be thinking, why are you eating noodles first thing in the morning? Noodles are always an appropriate food to eat. Fun but very random addition to today's challenge. I read that V is a big fan of Gucci. K-pop groups wear a lot of designer brands in performances and in general, but since V has been particularly vocal about his love for the brand, I asked my friend if I could borrow her Gucci belt for today. If this one thing will help me feel one step closer to being that 8th member of BTS, you know I had to do it. Okay, so it is now lunchtime, and I feel like I can't make a BTS eating video without including jjajangmyeon, which is Korean black bean noodles. There's one very memorable clip that stays in my mind of V having to eat jjajangmyeon silently. The kind he was eating kind of looked like the instant ones, Chapaghetti, which is one of my favorite instant noodle brands, but I decided I'd try to be fancy and make my own. Inga actually has a video up on About to Eat showing how she makes it, so I tried to follow a rendition of that recipe. So this is my version. I'm really excited. I've never made this before, and it looks and smells bomb. This sauce, I truly feel like there's no comparison I can make to an American version. It's so rich and creamy, but the flavor is just completely different from anything I have in any other cuisine. Ooh, another fun thing I learned about V is that he actually didn't plan on coming to audition to be a K-pop idol. He came to the auditions with a friend just to keep him company, and then, lo and behold, actually turned out to be one of the world's biggest pop stars. So it's dinner time, I'm tired. And if you've ever seen BTS in an interview where they ask where you like to eat when you're in the States, nearly every time V will be very enthusiastic about one restaurant in particular, and that restaurant is Panda Express. I couldn't find exactly what V likes to order when he's there, but Panda Express actually has tweeted BTS, and they use the hashtag orange chicken love, which made me think I better get orange chicken. First piece of orange chicken in like years. Wow, it is so sweet. As I was watching those interviews where V would exclaim his love for Panda Express, and then a lot of times interviewers seem confused and they'll say something maybe along the lines of,
okay,
Panda Express
came a long way for Asian food, but you know, it's probably not as good as you get back home.
To be honest, I've never met an Asian person that considers Panda Express to be Asian food. It's like Americans cosplaying Chinese food with Panda Express. It's still delicious in its own way, but I respectfully would not consider this Chinese food. And of course, I couldn't end V's day without giving a BTS fact. And today's fact is that BTS has broken multiple world records. And as of this video, their most recent world record has been most simultaneous viewers on a music video and YouTube premieres with their video for Dynamite. Suga is one of BTS's rappers, and it's just such a sweet little presence. Suga has said that one of his greatest simple pleasures in life is drinking iced Americano on an empty stomach. So before I eat anything, I've made myself an iced Americano. Okay, I think I might have made it a little weak, but it's not bad. And for my actual breakfast, Suga is a big fruit guy. That's right, baby, we're eating hella tangerines for breakfast today. You can find literal compilations of Suga just eating tangerines because he enjoys them so much. One interesting thing I learned about Suga's name, stage name, Suga, is that it doesn't come from like the sweetener. It's actually from his old position that he played in basketball, which was a shooting guard. Shooting guard, Suga. If there's one thing that I feel like BTS constantly eats together and that they say that they enjoy together a lot, that is fried chicken and beer. There's something about Korean fried chicken specifically just hits so different. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. If you've never had Korean fried chicken, this is your sign. Given that Suga's a big meat eater, I figured that tonight was an appropriate night to have kalbi, which are Korean marinated short ribs. Jasmine has a great recipe for this y'all can follow. However, I just got mine pre-marinated from the Korean grocery store. Even easier to cook and prep. I'm so excited for this. This smells so incredible. You know what we haven't done yet today? Our BTS fact. Today's fact is that unlike a lot of other K-pop groups, BTS actually writes their own songs. And from my understanding, it's generally a collaborative effort. However, Suga has been known to say that he is an extremely prolific songwriter, being able to write songs in 1 to 2 days, which literally just blows my mind. Okay, the day has finally come for Jin's day. I'm so excited because Jin is kind of like the notorious eater of BTS. He made his own mukbang eating show called Eat Jin, where he just bodies like the most ridiculous volumes of food, and I love that for him. He's also one of the main vocalists for the group, and I think he has an incredible sense of humor. Today's breakfast, I have to admit, I cannot guarantee is one of Jin's favorite foods, but it's very Jin inspired. One of his philosophies around food that he mentioned in an Eat Jin episode was that ramen seasoning, the little packet, makes everything taste good. So I figured I would try to make scrambled eggs seasoned with ramen seasoning. My eggs do smell a little bit like seafood ramen, which is interesting, but it's also like making my mouth water. Oh my gosh. It's not bad. It tastes like when you put an egg in your ramen and you like scramble it in your soup. It tastes like that egg. I think we can deduce that Jin was correct in that ramen seasoning does make things taste really good. One of my favorite things to watch Jin eat is noodles. So I decided to make one of his apparent favorites, and that is naengmyeon, which is my childhood favorite. It is a cold buckwheat noodle soup, and it's super chewy and satisfying. You can make it from scratch with the noodles and then a beef-based broth. I just decided to get another instant packet, which is super easy to make, very convenient, and just as satisfying in my opinion. I like to top mine with some veggies and a boiled egg. It's best on like a very hot summer day. It's just super refreshing. Jin could probably shove in his mouth all at once the volume of noodles I have in my entire bowl. Let's see how closely I can imitate how Jin takes a giant bite. Oh. Okay, I immediately decided I don't like shoving that many noodles in my mouth like Jin does, but it's very impressive that he can do it. I will also say one of my favorite things about Jin, just as a person, because we know each other so well, is that 1 minute he can be shoving noodles into his mouth like his life depends on it, and then he'll go into an interview and introduce himself as
Hello, I'm Jin. I'm a worldwide handsome.
Given that he was scouted for his good looks. Go off Jin, but I would love to have that level of confidence. So Jin strikes me as a very fancy man because he says that one of his favorite foods is lobster. Class, I'm sitting in my family's like fancy dining room today. I know Jin has also said that he loves steak and he eats 3 steaks a day. As much as I wanted to do that, I thought that I'd been doing a lot of beef already, so I decided to go with lobster as like our more exciting option. I wasn't sure exactly how he likes his lobster prepared, so I was looking online and there's a type of lobster that is prepared, you know, and served as regular street food in Korea. It's seasoned with gochujang and topped with cheese. It looks super delicious, so I tried my hand at making that. Very nervous to see how it tastes. But the cheese feels weirdly placed. I feel like it'd be better almost without the cheese. It's probably my fault because I used like Gouda and cheddar instead of Gouda and mozzarella, but a little funky. But it's so good. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. And today's fun fact is that BTS's logo since 2017 is made up of 2 trapezoids. It's meant to represent 2 doors opening outwards. And then on the other hand, the logo for ARMY, BTS's fan base, is those trapezoids reversed. So it looks like the doors are opening inwards. And those 2 together are supposed to represent BTS and ARMY coming together as one, which I think is so lovely and poetic of them.
It's pretty good.
Okay, what do you rate it out of 10?
It's pretty good. I would say 8.
Nice. It is Jungkook Day. He's a dancer and vocalist for the group, and he's also the youngest. Listen, they call him the Golden Magne because he's good at everything, and for that we have to stand. Apparently he said that he's a big carb fan, and I've seen in a lot of behind the scenes clips that he likes bananas and peanut butter. He made himself this delicious looking peanut butter Nutella banana toast. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I used to have after school when I was a little kid as a snack, so I had to make it. A+ for Jungkook breakfast. Given that Jungkook's a carb lover, I feel like I had to make tteokbokki, which is just a classic Korean dish. It's literally spicy rice cakes that are all stewed together, a little bit of fish cake. I like to add some veggies, and in all the eating compilations, Jungkook's always eating noodles, so I had to add some ramen. It's a really common pairing in Korea. When you get tteokbokki, you can add ramen noodles, you can add cheese on top, all these fun fixings. So that's what I tried to make. Oh, it's pretty good. Hey, it's pretty good. My sister. There's a lot of different flavors going on. We got spice, we got a little bit of seafood, we got the sweetness. Another random fun fact that I learned about Jungkook is that he actually is a big fan of body art. He has, I think, over 11 tattoos. I wanted to emulate Jungkook, so I got a temporary tattoo, which my family will be much more on board with. I got this tiger one though because Siberian tigers are the national animal of Korea. I am honestly really bummed this is my last BTS inspired meal. I know Jungkook likes pizza. I like pizza, so we're having pizza. In clips of BTS having a little pizza party together, I know RM mentioned something about a supreme pizza. So I figured a supreme pizza was the way to go. Pizza in Korea is actually super bomb. You can get things like sweet potato crust, which sounds weird, I think, to Americans, but it's really good. And just a lot of different toppings that you wouldn't find in the States. As I'm enjoying this, we might as well share. Love Yourself Tear was the first K-pop album to ever top the Billboard 200. Dinner is over, I have my dessert. I know that Jungkook is a big fan of sweets, especially because mine is literally named Cookie. So gotta end my week with some cookies, and I'm so good, but there can only be one winner, one ultimate day from this Eating Like BTS week. Bye.